I'm with David Clifton, who's the co-founder of Clifton Davies. Now, David, tell me, what have you been doing here today?
Well, I've been enjoying the first day of a new conference, which I think is brilliant in terms of bringing together all of the conferences that had gone before. It seems to be working well. The floor was pretty full of people. I've spent a fair bit of time here because I was participating in one of the debates in the council section, and that's been interesting.
So tell us a bit about the council section and how it's different and what you took away from today.
Well, I think what's different about it is the fact that it is set up as a debate. I think that there were some very interesting views expressed. I think getting a bunch of people together who all have a common interest in what is happening in the gambling industry is always going to provoke debate. It depends whether or not people are going to feel confident enough to come out with their real feelings. That certainly happened in the last one that I was at, because there was a guy, I won't name him, I won't name his company, but he took his badge off because he said he wanted to express some of his own personal views rather than his company's views, and so that was interesting. For my own part, I was one of the speakers in a debate on affiliates, and basically whether affiliates are still going to be around in 2020.
And what was the verdict?
Well, I was overwhelmingly defeated, I have to say, but I was being quite provocative. My line was that affiliates, as we know them, are not going to be around by 2020 because it's an area that has a huge regulatory focus on it at the moment. There needs to be change, there needs to be improvement. Affiliates realise that, and the shame of this is that the controversy concerning affiliates has really been caused by just a few bad apples, and as a result of those bad apples, the rest of the barrel of apples is having to deal with the outcome of that.
Now, obviously, with iGB Live and with a lot of these conferences, it's always looking to the future and progression. What are you seeing as the new sort of challenges facing the industry?
Well, I come at it primarily from a UK perspective, and it is ever-increasing regulation. And there are many I know in the industry who think that it's going too far. I advise on regulatory matters, and so, there's plenty of work there for me, but that's not really quite the point. I sympathise with the industry, but I think that in years gone by, this was always going to happen. And I think that there are very encouraging signs now that the industry is genuinely putting the customer's interests first, and that's not purely in commercial terms and giving them good offers, gambling offers, which they're all doing. It's actually thinking more from a social responsibility point of view and looking after the consumer. And certainly we have clients who have impressed us within the last year that they are genuinely thinking, what can we do to assist our client rather than what can we do to ensure we comply with the regulators' requirements, and that's quite a shift.
So, David, what do you think are the new trends that you're seeing here?
I don't know whether new trend is quite the right word. I think where there is certainly great interest is as a result of what's happening in the US in terms of sports betting. I wonder whether or not the interest is a little bit overhyped at the moment. I think we're all going to wait a little bit longer to find out really what opportunities are going to exist for European operators, suppliers, but already there are some pretty obvious indications that tie-ups that have already taken place, and those who planned ahead are going to be one step ahead. So I suppose in terms of a trend, that's probably the biggest trend, although, as I was mentioning before, a greater focus on regulatory issues because it has to be.
David, thank you so much for chatting.
Pleasure.